So, hi everyone. I would like to welcome you at the next amazing Beyond the Reality podcast episode. We have still our special episodes here from the Three Dice, and right now I have with me Gabriel Menz. Hey, Gabriel.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. And Gabriel is really a legend as far as I heard for in the drone filming space. He's a CEO and co-founder of Skynamic, aerial drone service provider, and he's actually cooperated a lot of commercials you might know because for almost every automotive brand out there, for example, Porsche, Ferrari, or also well-known Tesla commercial with Elon Musk dancing. But not only that, also work with the Netflix and another production houses on super interesting stuff. Gabriel, once again, thank you for your time and for being here on the podcast with me.
Thanks for having me.
Amazing. So maybe the best is to give you the word and to describe kind of your background. How did you get to the drone flying and filming? That would be super interesting.
Yeah. How should I start? We founded Skynamic 13 years ago, and I started out as a filmmaker. When I was 15, I started with small cameras and trying to compete in contests and trying to do my own films. Then I went to the university doing media and directing and editing. And then just 1 year after graduating, I met a guy from my class from school. He was a pilot. He became a pilot in the meantime. And he brought me to drones. He brought me into the drone topic. And since then, I'm very much into drones. And 1 year later, we founded Skynamic in a small town in Germany, close to Frankfurt. And from that point onwards, my life changed pretty much. Clients dragged us all over the world to do filming for them with fast drones. Back then it was very, very new. Now drones are very normal, but back then it was so unusual. Everybody stopped and kept looking and what's going on, what's that? It's actually flying. Oh, it's not coming down. And
Nice.
that was very useful for all sorts of filming. And that was a journey. Yeah.
And do you remember your first commercial with drones or your first project?
Yeah, very well. I think the first one that was important was for Volkswagen.
Okay.
For Volkswagen Motorsport, we went into WRC Rally, and this is a rough motorsport event, and you follow cars through the woods and through the landscape, and they used helicopters for years and ground camera, and drones were very new, and they were brave enough to test it out. They trusted us, and we gave them new angles and new perspectives on a sport that was known for years just from helicopter and ground. And now we were able to close the gap between those two.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. And I think you still do it, no? With them.
We still doing rally from time to time. This is something that always been with us for the last 12 or 13 years. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds amazing, and we will for sure play some of those shootings in the video. And speaking of that, speaking of that time, how do you feel, or how do you see that this whole drone industry changed?
It changed a lot. It changes so quickly that even we have a bit of issue to follow. This is what my talk at the Three Dice tomorrow is. First, we needed to build the drones ourselves. We need to develop, we need to test, we need to program, we need to do everything on our own. And that changed pretty much because now you can buy drones that are perfect for the needs we have. And what changed a lot was the size of the drone. So first it was like a medium size, looking at this from nowadays perspective. It was something like a 6 kilo drone. Then we went into cinema, where they needed big cameras, big lenses, and the drones became way bigger, like 20 kilos, 25 kilos, $150,000 in the air. You need to carry it with two people. You need to bring it on a pickup truck, on a boat, on a roof. elsewhere. And now the drones became smaller again. And that's interesting to see. And this is what we are very happy about, because logistics went smaller, permits went better, all the work around the work got less. For years, like 90% of our work was just logistics, boxing, testing, dragging boxes around, all that, and now we can concentrate again on filming and flying, and this is a good change.
That's a good that it's happening across industries. I'm more from the XR VR, and I remember when we were visiting back in the days our first clients, we actually went like with a huge bags and setting up the whole room. It took us 30 minutes to set up the VR experience. Now you just give a headset and it's in seconds. So I'm happy to hear that it's happening in the drone industry as well. And how do you see the role of currently of per to say AI, like as from the perspective of production, but also from a perspective of a drone flyer or operator?
Let's say 1 or 2 years ago, we felt like that AI can't really touch what we're doing, but you see what's going on right now. Things are so incredible. I'm pretty sure that producers will decide to have an AI car or a CGI car in the landscape, or they can even generate a landscape. And it's understandable, because working with, for example, cars, this is what we do quite often, it takes so much effort, you know. You need to time the weather, you need to get permits for the street, you need to buy permits, you need to bring mechanics on site, you need to bring the actual car, which is a prototype, which is not working all the time. You need to have several cars, because you bring 50 people, and when the car is not working, everything stops, you know. There's so much nightmarish problems going on, and I can fully understand that people happily switch to a different option like AI or like CGI cars. So maybe we're having less work there in the future, but at the same time, lots of other niches and sectors popped up, especially broadcast. Now we're having tiny drones that can broadcast HD and record 4K at the same time, and that's quite huge, because indoors we are now allowed to fly over people. This is not actual airspace, so we just need the go of the owner, of the venue owner. And this also, again, gives new perspectives, and this is what we are after all the time. Wow. So maybe one door is closing very slowly, but lots of other doors opening right now.
No, I can imagine. And do you have some like current use cases regarding the broadcasting?
Yeah. We did some concerts, but there's also a league that's called Octagon MMA. That's like an MMA fighting league.
It's actually coming from Czech Republic.
It is.
Yeah.
So the company, I think it's half German, half Czech.
Yeah.
And we followed them for several events, also in Prague in end of December. And yeah, they asked us to bring our drones. And I never thought that I can bring some value to like a cage fight, but there's so much to do. You know, you can dive from the roof to the cage, you can circle around the cage. In the breaks, you can go actually in the cage. There's so many perspectives, and this is how you can bring new shots to such a sport. Yeah,
that sounds really cool. So and regarding that, like I think you must have behind yourself so many cool projects, and then can you maybe tell us some behind scenes stories, like if you are willing to share, of course.
Yeah.
Like what happened, what went wrong or right, or
there is that famous example of the Tesla Gigafactory we did. And that was quite interesting. The approach of Tesla was so different from all the other manufacturers we worked since then. You know, when you're working for a German manufacturer, they are very cautious. They ask you to put down the number plate several weeks before you go to the factory. And Tesla was the complete opposite. They said, "All right, guys, the door is open. Do what you want, and please fly creative, fly aggressively. We want to see something new. And they slowed down the press, for example. So in that factory flight, you see a scene where we flew through the press, and they slowed down the press for us, so we can make a new shot, and that was pretty new. Later we also met Elon Musk when he delivered the first Model Ys to the first clients. So this was an interesting week.
And so there was also this dancing, right? I
Yes.
guess it was.
Yeah, lots of politicians were around that day, and the dancing took part when he delivered the first three Model Ys, from what I can remember.
Okay. And so and beside that, like, how many drones did you manage to crash? Or as a company, not necessarily you, but I guess a company.
Yeah, on a commercial film or on a feature film, there are almost no crashes.
Okay.
But when you work for motorsport, lots of things can happen, right? Because there are stones flying around, and I remember in 2017 or 18, it just takes one stone and then the drone is gone,
Yeah.
But it happens out on the landscape where there are no people, and this is why they ask us to do some cool images, and it comes with a price.
But it's kind of assuring to hear that there is no malfunction during all these years of shooting, that the not drone was crashed.
Yeah.
That's great. And what do you see? You kind of described very well how the drones evolve from small to big, back to small. What do you see is going to be the future hardware-wise?
It's going to be small, and it's going to be, in my opinion, ridiculously tiny. We managed to get drones 150 grams. So an iPhone is something like 160 grams, so it's even lighter than an iPhone. And I've seen a drone on the internet that it's just recently, a few days ago, that it's just 75 grams. And it's still carrying a camera, able to shoot 4K, broadcast HD at the same time, thanks to video transmission from DJI that's called O4. And that's incredible. The future is maybe drones that are just not FPV. FPV is first-person view, where a pilot is steering the camera and the drone at the same time, but it takes a lot of concentration. And for example, when he is looking to the left, he needs to go sideways, and then he can't see where he is going. And that's crucial, especially when you are on live events. But I think in the future, and this is what we're working on right now, there's an extra camera gimbal below the drone, beneath the drone, and that is being operated by a second guy. So you're having the characteristics of the drones we had from 2012 until now, but in big size. Now it's becoming smaller and smaller and smaller. And that helps a lot when it comes to sports, skiing, snowboarding, all sorts of sports, but all sorts of concert and football whatsoever. And I'm pretty sure that in the near future, big acts like a Taylor Swift will have a small drone behind her, because it's so flexible and it gives so much options. And since they're having propeller protections, it can't do any harm. And since it's that lightweight, I'm pretty sure they're going to use drones a lot in live events.
So there will be a live event, like a concert, Taylor Swift, with a drone flying around. Yeah. Or when she flies for a coffee with her jet, it'll be following the airplane. Okay, and you spoke about the future. So what do you see like the drones being used, not only in the industry, but as you are an expert also from the hardware perspective? Like, do you see like being used on an everyday life basis? Do you more see it as a hardware or legislation issue currently? Like to have drones all over the cities and doing different stuff. For example, I don't know, checking the cars, whether they are under the speed limits. That's what right now in Czech Republic I heard that they are planning to do, and so on and so forth.
I think it's not a hardware issue anymore. I think it's a legal thing. And countries treat the drone differently. We have a in Europe we have an EU regulation, but the countries are still allowed to cook their own meal.
Yeah.
It's not official, but I think there is no real EU regulation because everybody is doing a different thing. It's not a hardware issue anymore. Just a few days ago, I saw in China they're having drone dogs, the DJI Dog 3, for example, next to the highway, and they can have a look, is there an accident, or the police can send up drones without having an operator on site. So they go up automatically. They are fully remote, and this is not a hardware issue anymore. It depends on which country allows what, and the filming industry, this is what the stuff we do, is very, very tiny. I think everything else is way bigger, and you can do so much. This is why we're here doing 3D scanning and surveys, and I'm pretty sure you can read the number plate from afar, and you can search for people that are lost with thermal cameras. You don't need a helicopter. I know cases where they were preventing illnesses to be spread, right? They found pigs that were affected in the woods because they had the warm body. They found a warm body. It's not doable with a helicopter. It's a fraction of the costs. I think it's not a hardware issue. No, it's a legal issue, and I think little by little, people understand how useful the drones can be, and sure, there's some downside to it. Imagining a sky full of drones, but this is.
So do you think like
this is doable?
This usually futuristic utopian picture of houses and the drones bringing packages, that this could be it, or you can imagine it like working with that particular hardware every day. Almost.
Yeah, for the private household, that's something that is marketing-wise. You can market an idea like that. The DHL drone or the Amazon drone is bringing you the newest stuff to your home. I see there's a different case. I see industry drones delivering smaller goods are more realistic in terms of legal stuff. We worked with a company called Wingcopter, and this is a delivery drone with wings, and it can overcome like 50, 60 kilometers, and it can carry a small blood sample, and it can bring it back to the hospital, and then the doctor can be in contact with the doctor in a remote area. That would have taken him like 2 days to bring back the blood sample, and then he can treat the patient with different medicine, right? And this is a use case that is way more realistic than having your stuff by Amazon.
Carried by, No, and actually I had never heard about this use case. I found it quite nice.
This is coming up. This is coming up a lot. So many manufacturers working on delivery drones. There's also a big drone. You can look it up by DJI. It's called Chart 30. It can carry even concrete. I've seen cases in America where they cut down trees and then they bring off the trees from the side with a drone. So
what is like the maximum weight like it can carry like this?
I think it was 50 kilos.
That's impressive.
It's absolutely insane, and I've seen videos in China where they used like several at the same time, 10, bringing up concrete,
so they're
bringing
actually
up the mountain,
cooperating in a structure and bringing like even more something like that, and it's helping each other.
Yeah. Or another case, there was a vineyard spraying some stuff on the vineyards because the hill was that steep that no car or tractor or human could go there.
What do you think about from like the different, because this is very practical, but what do you, for example, think about drone shows? We've seen it a lot, and we are actually doing like the fake drone shows to the CGI, because once you are looking on a sky, you cannot even tell the difference.
Yeah.
But what do you think about it? Did you ever do a drone show?
No, we get that a lot, but I'm always referring to a partner because this is a completely different topic, completely different skill from what we do. That's interesting. It's replacing fireworks here and there. And that is quite good because people and animals are not scared anymore, and it can reduce some in what's the word, in environment protection. That helps a lot. Yeah, I like it. But I know from many stories that things can be difficult when the whole thing is having an issue, when it's too cold, when it's too hot, when it's not easy to set these up, and when things go wrong, then lots of these drones coming down. Yeah, but I think in general things gonna heading this way, and I think we're gonna see less fireworks and more impressive drone shows.
Yeah, I agree, and I think it's actually a good thing.
Yeah.
And okay, and regarding more like a really future looking, like what do you see like your industry being in 50 years, let's say?
50?
Or if you want 20, because I know it's, as you said, now it feels hard to predict what's going to be next month sometimes, or what's going to be next year. But this podcast is about like going a little bit beyond reality, so would be interested, like feel free to be crazy about predictions. Like don't need to be
it's pretty hard to even predict 2 or 3 years, because things that can change right now can have such a big impact. For example, that video transmission we're using right now, it can penetrate through several walls. You could sit actually in the basement and you could fly the drone outside, which is incredible. It was not doable 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And that opens up so many new use cases. Maybe in 4 to 5 years, you're going to see some drones that follow cars automatically, like motorsport, Formula One, whatsoever. So you have, for each car, you have its own drone,
dedicated drone.
Yeah, like a third-person view, without a pilot, without an operator following the car. This could be possible. And hardware-wise, it's doable already. And speed-wise, we're catching up now. Maybe you saw the video where the company from the Netherlands followed the Formula One car up to 300-something kilometers an hour. So the speed is there already, but the battery life is not there.
So what is right now the battery life? If you go, because I think that's also the use case you mentioned, small drones that are carrying the camera.
Yeah.
What is the battery there? Like how long it's gonna be in the sky?
Yeah, it ranges from 1 minute to 5 minutes. Depends on how fast you're going. And when you're going full throttle, it's just a few minutes. It's just like 2, 3, 4 minutes. It's very limited, but I'm quite sure hardware will solve that quite soon. And then imagine boat races, or imagine even horse races, or imagine all sorts of competition sport. I think athletes and cars and vehicles will have their own drone in the future.
Wow. I think it's gonna be a kind of a different sort of a content out there than we are used to. I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, Gabriel, thank you a lot for your insight into the topic, and for being here on our Beyond Reality podcast, and good luck with all the amazing stuff you do.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.